Hello everyone, welcome to this year's first Bird's Eye View. I'm Drew Sims.
And I'm Adam Freeze. Let's jump right in. Are you looking to adopt a pet or in need of volunteer hours? Chase, Carson, and Jacob have more with a look into one of Kansas City's favorite pet adoption centers.
KC Pet Project, a nonprofit charity organization in the Kansas City area, is becoming very popular to animal lovers. In 2015 alone, 10,000 animals were adopted from the 4 different locations.
Well, I walked into the KC Pet Project and I looked at all the kitties, and then the next day I went home and told my parents about it, and they're like, okay, we'll go check it out because there's this one cat that I really wanted. We went back the next day and my parents really liked her too, so we signed some paperwork, and then they gave us some information on the cat and everything that we need to know about the cat, and then we got to take it home.
But the shelters aren't able to do this on their own. They have volunteers doing all sorts of tasks.
Volunteers they save our lives every single day. They come in and they help with walks, they help with clicker training, which is where they go around and get the dogs to be quiet, throw them a treat. They do dishes, they do laundry, they do everything. They are amazing, they help us so much.
KC Pet Project is considered a great charity and program by many, and will continue to hold this title as the year progresses. Signing out with STTV, this is Carson, Chase, and Jacob.
If you want to adopt a pet or help volunteer at KC Pet Project, go to kcpetproject.org.
Last week, the orchestra had an exciting opportunity to perform with a big name in the strings world. Here's Cindy and Chase with more on this event.
Mark Wood, an electric violinist and co-founder of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, came to perform with the orchestra students on October 11th. They put on a rock concert where they played several different musical genres, and that included Michael Jackson's Beat It. Mark comes once every 3 years, letting orchestra students branch out from typical classical music.
It's very important that we diversify our musical styles, not be set in just one time period, but to learn all styles helps strengthen the other ones.
With this kind of music, musicians interact with their audience as a way to establish a relationship.
What's so great about music, it's not verbal. So you don't have to go, hello, my name is, and look geeky and dorky. You can play an instrument. So with music, we're able to use that as a method of communication.
Junior Christopher Spry was chosen by Mark Wood to play an electric instrument solo during the performance. He explains how it felt to play a different type of music.
I think it was really original, and it was definitely fun to get away from the normal routine of sitting. It was professional but fun.
Orchestra students are currently practicing for their next performance in December, where they will be playing holiday music. For STTV, this has been Chase Kirby and Cindy Miller.
Thanks to everyone that came out to support the orchestra last week.
We have many talented students here at Staley. Drew and Annika got a closer look at one of those students in this year's first edition of Featured Falcon.
Hi, my name is Stearns. I'm a sophomore at Staley High School, and I played the cello. When I first started taking cello lessons with my first cello instructor, Christy, she really taught me a lot. There's so much more to the cello that I didn't know of, and it just made me want to learn more about it.
Lewis's passion for cello is definitely a motivated one. He definitely knows what he wants and he goes for it, and even when he doesn't succeed, he learns from it and then he tries harder the next time.
I think it's the drive to succeed and then a drive to be a good musician. People who usually are first chair have that internal drive more so than something motivating them externally.
I take private lessons with Carter Enyart, and I do Metropolitan Youth Orchestra down at William Jewell. I hear other orchestra players saying that they don't want to put their full effort into it, and they just do it for fun. But for me, it's just I do it because I want to be the best that this world has ever seen. I love how big the range is. You know, it's got really deep tones, and then you can have really high tones like a violin type. And it's just I find it amazing that one instrument can create such a unique sound like that. And that's why I love the cello so much.
It's really neat to see kids passionate about that and want to succeed and a drive to success.
One of my big motivations is watching professional cellists like Yo-Yo Ma or Jacqueline Dupre, because they are crazy good, and all I want to do is just be as good as them one day. One of my idols, he's Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters. One thing he said, don't look at posters of famous artists and say, oh, I'm never going to be that. Look at those posters and say, I'm going to be that.
We can't wait to see what the future holds for Lewis.
Speaking of skilled students, one of them is already designing her own future. Cindy and Ween have more on this student.
A striving fashion designer, Lenasia Walton is a young entrepreneur and a junior here at Staley.
I got started with my clothing line in 8th grade. I started sketching and drawing, and then the summer of my freshman year, that's when I had my first photo shoot, and that's when it all began.
During the day, Lenasia is a trying student, and after school, she is a diligent designer creating clothes guided towards teenagers.
Actually, having a clothing line is like having 3 jobs, because I actually have a job, I have school and track and homework, and I have a clothing line. It's hard because after school I go home and then I have to sketch out things, plan out events, so I get probably 5 hours of sleep a day. I'm up all night trying to sew and trying to balance homework and stuff, so it's a struggle.
Lenasia has many plans for her artistic future, and she's working on accomplishing a few of her goals.
My short-term goal when I turn 18 and when I graduate is to open a boutique store. I already have a website, and that's doing pretty well. And then my long-term goal is to be in New York Fashion Week or things like that.
As any aspiring artist, Lenasia must also be inspired in some way.
Inspiration would be just me, I guess, because I had a really rough middle school year, so my get out was drawing and fashion and being creative, and also all of my family members we're really outside the box. We don't dress like everyone, so that was my inspiration. I you can just take what you know and what you like and put it into clothing, and no one can say, oh, that's not right, because it's your ideas. Yeah, I really want to do this when I get older.
Lenasia Walton will continue to sow more seeds into her clothing designing future. This has been Cindy Ngo and Aween Kareem signing out for STTV.
You can see and even buy some of Lenasia's work through her website at stayunique.com.
Sports are a way of life for a lot of students. Craig and Garrison show us a senior who has used baseball to help him through life challenges.
From the batter's box to the pitcher's mound and daylight to dusk, if you're looking for senior Ryan Walker, you will often find him at the baseball field.
Number one, he possesses tremendous character, and we've just been impressed with what he's dealt with and how hard he works, and how he's never let any of that give him an excuse for anything.
Ryan has proven his abilities on and off the field throughout his career and been an inspiration to his teammates. Ryan isn't your typical athlete. At an early age, he was diagnosed with a rare form of muscular dystrophy.
Becker's muscular dystrophy. Basically what happens is my legs start to get really tight and just start to tense up on me, I guess.
While Ryan's symptoms began at the age of 5, this hasn't stopped him from playing his hardest for the past 13 years.
It gets to the point where I can't even bend my legs past my knee, or I can't hardly walk. I've had to be carried off the pitcher's mound after baseball games. My legs have been a big motivation for me to keep going, I guess, to get up out of bed and go to the gym or go run or do something. It's not very common that a person with Becker's muscular dystrophy is out doing physical activity and playing baseball and everything else. Usually by the time they're 18, they're in a wheelchair.
He just kind of brings that to the table for our team and our program. That you can overcome obstacles.
Though his condition tries to hold him back, Ryan still pursues baseball and is considering continuing into college. For STTV and Craig Richards, this is Garrison Brown reporting.
Well, that's it for this edition of Bird's Eye View.
Be sure to check us out on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and visit us online at StaleyNews.com.
Have a great day, everyone.